Hi guys, welcome to Throwzone.com. This is Mohit Soni, and right in front of you is the Hyundai Verna, which is facelifted, to be surprising, because what you're going to see is a humongous amount of change in the car, but it's still a facelift. That is typically keeping in Hyundai traditions, because they end up giving more and more equipment and more changes to their facelift when compared to the next generation car. And when the next generation car comes in, it's entirely different. So you have to give it to Hyundai that they facelift their cars very seriously and very thoroughly. Well, let's not waste much more time telling you what you pretty much know about. But what you can see here is an entirely new headlamp unit, entirely new grille. This new sort of diamond inspired large grille is part Lexus, part Audi, as always with Hyundai cars. They're sort of inspired, but in their own way. This jewel effect headlamp we first saw in the Honda City, it's made it here. It's in vertical shape and it's vertically aligned along with these DRLs. Look very impressive. The entire front bumper is new, and that's what makes it very good, a very good looker, and it stands out. This new blue color, dark blue color, you may find it to look like black, but I know for sure it's a blue color, and it looks very impressive with these new alloy wheels, which are diamond cut, but again get more of that black accent instead of the silver accent. Again, taking feedback from critics and public to make those alloy wheels stand out, and they're doing their job really well. That's the new LED tail lamp. Again, very distinct from the older version. I have to say that it looks very much like an Audi here, and it's not overly done or anyway. That's the boot. Good amount of space, not the best. It's around 450 liters. This segment has 500 liters plus, so Hyundai could work here a bit. What you get is reversing camera and sensors. These are 16-inch alloy wheels. Let me show you another part of the Hyundai Verna, which is not that great. That's the amount of space you have in the back, and it's a C segment sedan. Usually this segment offers you tons of space. It all started with the Nissan Sunny and then everybody followed, but Hyundai is sort of sticking with this formula of not offering way too much space in a C segment sedan, but it's still adequate. Let me show you. As I said, because it's already much better than the previous version, and and this is the new generation car which is facelifted, so the same space remains. Good knee room, good leg room, under thigh support is good. Usually some cars give you more knee room and compromise on the under thigh support, but here everything is again adequate. Not I won't call this entirely comfortable for a very long journey, but weekend trips and daily commutes with people sitting in the back should not have some much problem with it. We've got AC vent, that's the charging point. There is an armrest with two cup aka can holders. That's the sunroof, the party piece that what everybody looks forward to. Glass area, well, it's good enough. It is good. It could have been a bit more better. Those are door pockets, and as you can see what it can handle, it has a 400 ml 500 ml water bottle capacity. Let me show you that it has keyless entry and go, and that is the cockpit. That is the most spoken part. Illumination light for all these lights here, and that is the again very premium car feature here. It's an LCD display of a new digital layout. There is no dials here anymore, and as you can see, it can show you a lot. Let me just show you that. Yeah, as you can see, I'm pressing this button here. There is tire pressure monitoring, fuel economy, average is here finally, and those are the settings to change everything. Why you can change it via here, and yeah, you can select the theme of this particular background here and here as well. That's the new screen. Earlier it was slightly higher up, now it's integrated into here. It looks very flush. It is a bit small for this segment, but not entirely small. It's just below adequate if you ask me. and it works really well. It's got BlueLink connectivity, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Hyundai has their own thing also going on with this system here. It's very smooth, very flush, very easy to work with, very easy to live with. You can control it via buttons here as well. And yeah, navigation, then setup shows you the BlueLink here. You can as you know, there are tons of features that you can control via BlueLink. There's this SOS button here, this is BlueLink button here, and this is the this is for the emergency, and this is for breakdown. If you want, if you just press this button, it will call the call center and help you out with the logistics of getting a broken down car away. AC, absolute chiller, works really well, at least in these conditions. The highlight, yes, these are the ventilated seats. Again, USB ports, lot of them here, wireless charger, cup holders, can holders here, good amount of space here as well. Let's see what the glove box is like. It's cooled, and it's got just about enough space here. Overall, the dashboard layout hasn't changed much, but I see there are incursions to the vents. They are slightly different. They get these sort of housing here for these things, to separate housing for them. It looks very neat, very good attention to detail. Piano black used here is very good quality, surprisingly. We've seen cars not getting this kind of quality for piano black finish in higher segments as well. I showed you the sunroof. It's entirely openable, and this is manual, of course. The shade, you've got height adjustable seat belt, and although the driver's seat is manual, this segment is slowly getting powered seats, but we'll wait for that to happen with the new generation. We can't expect with already this car has to offer. It's got cruise control, it's got voice assist. Certain commands work really well, certain don't. And yeah, that is the interior. Again, with every Hyundai, the interior is the highlight. The quality is good to touch, but certain plastics like here are a bit hard, although this part is rather well padded. Again, these are the switches here. As always, they haven't changed from the previous one. And yeah, what you also get brand new is this key, which is very new. Again, very premium. Hyundai is just up the game with the Verna. They want you to buy this as sedan instead of the tons of SUVs there are in the market and in their own portfolio as well. What else has changed? Well, that's the driving part, which will explain more on the new things that the Verna has to offer. Well, when I said earlier that they do a lot of change, well, it's because of BS6 as well. The entire power train lineup has changed for Hyundai Verna. You get a 1.5 petrol, a 1.5 diesel, and a 1 liter turbo. Well, we should be driving the turbo now, but Hyundai has given us the 1.5 naturally aspirated petrol motor. It makes around 115 PS of power, 150 newton meters of torque. Those are the best numbers in this segment, but Hyundai has sort of taken their own benchmark down. The earlier version made 126 PS of power from a 1.6 version. This 1.5 becomes BS6 compliant. It gets the same 6-speed manual, and it's very smooth. The clutch is very light. It's very easy to drive. The short wheelbase means that you can maneuver this car really well, and you don't feel like you're driving a very big sedan. It's very easy to drive in city, that's for sure, because the steering is also light, the gearbox is smooth, it slots in perfectly at any given time, be it day or night, early in the morning, late in the night. When you've driven the car for 12 hours plus, that gearbox is not going to give up on you in terms of shift and ease of use. The motor, well, we're surprised to see that there is good amount of power below 1500 rpm, which makes picking up this car very easy from standstill. Mid-range is also quite good. Top end, well, I think it's a brand new car under 1000 kilometers. It's not showing its best performance, but I think there is enough top end power to have some fun with it. It does 120 easily, 130 easily. It can go even higher than that, but obviously we have to stick to our speed limits, and that's not really of a concern. But when we get more time to spend with this car. We'll let you know more about it, but what we can tell you, it's above adequate, and I think this motor does everything you will ask for it, you will ask from it, and it will do it well. But what it will not do is excite you. It will do everything you will say, but it won't excite you at the same time. I think that's where the turbo petrol and the diesel will come, which has 100 more Newton meters of torque, and the turbo petrol also makes around similar power, but it's got more torque. So again, diesel and turbo petrol, it's just the magic of turbo. Naturally aspirated engines are great if they make more horsepower and torque, but this one does the job. It won't excite you is what we're trying to say. In terms of handling, well, the air pressures were right, slightly high, so it was a bit bouncy on roads like the Bombay-Pune Expressway. But if you lower down the air pressure, you will still find it to be on the stiffer side at lower speeds, which is great news from previous Hyundais. But it still isn't the best. There is still body roll. Steering has gotten a lot better. It weighs up surprisingly well, but not the best, and it is just about adequate in terms of communication and the road feel. As you can say from what I've said right now, is that it's a neutral and a able handler, and it's a very safe car to be in at any given speed. Ride quality at any given speed, high or low, it's very good. It inspires confidence, but it's not sporty like some of its rivals. I think that is what the Verna is all about. It's always been this new edition with new colors, new facelift, lot of cosmetic changes, lot of interior changes, lot of features thrown in. Like I told you earlier, makes the Verna a surprisingly capable package, and it stands against the like of the Honda City, the new Volkswagen Vento turbo petrol, and Skoda Rapid. All of them are backed with turbo petrol engines. The Maruti Ciaz is always there, but this seems more value for money if you're not looking for space, or not if your requirements are not much of space. You can definitely consider this car because it's got the more premium look, the premium appeal, and if you can stretch your budget a little bit over the Ciaz, it's great. But over every other competition, this is much more cheaper. That is why Verna wins a lots of heart, and that's the reason why it's been doing well in terms of sales. We think it will continue to do good in sales despite the current situation. It should be above its rivals, but it won't have those high numbers that were expected earlier. I think that is it. That is what the Hyundai Verna facelift is all about. We'll bring you the diesel and the turbo petrol version road test very shortly, and we'll write about it on our website. So stay tuned to our website, stay tuned to our social media channels, subscribe to our channel, guys, and don't forget to hit like. If you still want to ask us something, put it in the comment section below, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.